Gathered friends, it is time for part 2 of the Redstone Grumble Bricks piano tutorial, where today I'll be measuring how many blocks you need. So what you really need is you need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. It needs to be 12 blocks deep by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So it's 12 by 11. Very small design, you can fit it in the trunk. This little platform here is just fun to look at. If you've watched the last video, you understand the basics of this. The note blocks need to be staggered, so what you need is an observer facing up, so it can measure stuff off a daylight sensor, like this. Then need one observer facing back, and then two, and then one, and then two, and then one, and two, 1, 2, 1. And you can have this going for as long as you want. You know, use all of the tones, but I prefer to have quite a bit of a change in pitch between each one, so that's why mine's so small. Yep, and then here the basic circuit is you get a comparator, so you've got a hopper, no dropper, facing into a hopper which is facing back into the hopper. You have a comparator and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 bits of redstone, then a repeater, then a little corner goes all the way back here to a comparator clock, that's all you need, and then a repeater going into a block with a torch, which goes into a repeater, which goes into the hopper, so that when you dispense hose into the hopper, when you dispense hose into the hopper, it adds a little bit of signal. And then on the first bit of signal here, you want a torch. So 3 redstone dusts into the circuit, you want a torch which leads into this setup here, and this is the prongs of the outermost note blocks. Obviously that's the outermost note block is there, and then the other side is there. Pretty easy to understand. Make a little fork. Make sure that when this is powered, all of those pistons stand up, and then 2 blocks further on you have another torch and another line of redstone goes into this reverser here, so you need to have this torch set up so it reverses the signal, so that when that's deactivated, these pistons extend. And you need to have repeaters in here to make sure all the redstone magic energy goes into those, and that will push those blocks out when that torch is in. It's very important you have it set up this way so that these are attached first in the circuit, because you'll see now that if I deactivate this, let's just say I've deactivated it by powering it, those retract. And then what will happen afterwards is the next bit of juice will go out to here and it'll push those out. And then what happens is it goes all the way back round again, at which point it will retract that and push that up and reset. So you see, this is setting 1, then it plays air blocks, then it plays wood blocks. And the way we cycle through those is with this little button here with a torch on the back, dust, torch, dust. Dropper with 3 diamond hose. You can use iron hose, you can use swords, anything that won't stack. You can use chest plates if you want. And then what happens is you press the button once, the first hoe is in there. And we've got hose calling, and a hoe is worth 3 bits of dust. And that goes to there, turns that torch off, retracts those blocks, and we're now on setting 2. So setting 1 is the default when the emerald blocks are up. We press it once more, you will notice that there's 2 diamond hose in the hopper, which is still locked. And that's turned that torch off, which has gone all the way around to there, to that reverser, which has pushed these pistons out. And they wouldn't have been able to do that had it been the other way around, it would have broke. So it has to be this way around. And then, once more, you press it, and the hoe power, the power of the hose, will go all the way to this repeater, and it'll power all the way back here, and it'll turn this clock on, which will, for about 3 seconds, turn that redstone torch off, allowing all the hose to go back home to where the hose live, which is in this dropper. Behold. See? They came back. And these unpower in the right order as well. So that one turns off, and then that one turns off, and then the whole thing goes back, and then they come back on at the right time. Does seem a bit counterintuitive that that one would come off first. Actually, no, that does make sense. And that's pretty much it. And the basic setup for on top of this, so you've got your pistons which push the blocks underneath the note blocks, and then leading towards the note blocks, you want an observer. So in this one you have 2 observers, and this one you have 1, and that's just to make sure the note blocks are staggered and don't interfere with each other's melodies. Very simple design. I'm proud of it. I've absolutely no idea if anybody's built something similar before. I know redstone pianos have been a thing for a very long time, but I saw a tutorial for one and I thought I can improve upon this design, and I think I've done it, I think for once I'm proud of something I've made out of redstone. It's not like that thing over there, that massive thing which is basically a computer in my tiny mind, which I then replaced with this, which is incredibly simple. That does the same job as that. I thought that was really cool. So sometimes complicated isn't the best. So this deceptively simple design allows you to do the following. If that was standing there, it would have had a different noise, but I changed it out for emerald blocks during the last tutorial, I think, or during this one. I don't remember. Time passes strange in this household. Anyway, guys, that's my redstone tutorial of the Grumblebix piano. I wonder if anybody else has made it before. I don't think so. I've seen Cubfan use one. I think Azumovoid had one at some point. Mumbo had one. I'm sure False Symmetry had one as well. Definitely there was one in the middle of one of the Hermitcraft seasons that a lot of people visited, and it just did this. It didn't change tone, but now I've invented a way for it to change the tone. So if you ever get bored of the way your piano sounds, you can change it. Very simple design. Doesn't take much redstone at all. You only need 3 comparators. Yeah, that's right. 3 comparators. One to about 10. Yeah, about 10 repeaters. So many observers. You need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 15, 17 observers for this setup, and 7 daylight sensors. So that's quite a bit of quartz. You don't need this lamp, but I just thought it looks cool. You could also have that be silent. You could have the same setup, but it would potentially cycle through too quick. And you can hear the pistons anyway, as it resets everything. So it would seem a bit redundant. I love this thing so much, I really want to build it on survival. Oh, also important to have... See what just happened? Because it's a daylight sensor. Very important to have this underground, otherwise it'll just randomly set off. Unless you want it to do that. But I'd put some shadow over it, because if you just... See? Also a potentially useful thing. You can also have this powered by rabbits. Now I'm going to do a video on that in a minute. Rabbit power for part 3.